Now, when you make a branching form, it is almost a requirement that you map out what the form is going to look like before you do it. I suppose if you've done a couple of them and you have them look all similar, you might be able to get by without doing it. But I always write down my branching form first. Now, normally I do that paper pencil, but since I'm making a video of it, I had to do it on here. On my computer. So here's my computer example, and basically what I did is I laid out what was going to happen when each event took place in my Google form. So my first branch was my first question, and if I got it correct, I went to the second question. If I got the second question correct, I got to skip to the second branch. If I got the first question there correct, I'd go to the second question, and if I got that correct, I'd go to the final page. So you'll notice that if I got everything correct, I would skip my tutorials. In my first branch, if I ever got something incorrect, it would shoot me down to the tutorial, and then after the tutorial, I would start the next branch. And then again, if I got anything incorrect, I don't think I put the link there. Oops, that's my fault. But I should have put a link here. Incorrect goes down to the branch 1 tutorial. But the basic idea is that I mapped out what I was going to look like. So I had my 2 branches. I knew what my 2 branches were going to look like, and so I made that ready to go. If you have 3 or 4 branches, you want to map out your 3 or 4 branches before you do that. And then you can start putting your branches together. So if I take a look, I want to show you what my form actually looks like. And so what you do is you basically create each question, and then after you're done with the question, you're going to put in a new section. So you want to add a section every time you're going to go to a different page. So basically, when I write out what I'm going to do, every one of these squares is a new section that I'm going to make in my Google form. So for the first branch, first question, I set it up so that I could have multiple choice. So there were 4 different answers, and then I wanted to do I don't know this well enough, so I'm going to go to the tutorial question so that I don't have students guessing and accidentally getting it correct. This is a tutorial so that they can review or something like that. So I want to stress that it's not important that they get it correct. It's important that they learn from the tutorial if they need to. So if they don't know, instead of trying to guess and getting lucky, just put that they don't know. And we'll go through how to do all of this, but basically for each answer, I can select where I want everything to go. So if I got it correct, I would go to the next section. And if I got it correct, or if I got it incorrect, what I would do is go to section 5. And one other thing about this, I don't fill out this information over here until I'm all the way done with all of my branches. So, and the reason that you do that is because I can't tell it to go to section 5 if I haven't made section 5 yet. So you lay it all out first, and then you identify here's where to go and that type of a thing. So question 1 right there, then I go to question 2, and I made a page for question 2 of my first branch. And then I actually jumped to my second branch question. So I made a second branch question 1, and then I made second branch question 2. And then I made a section for my branch 1 tutorial and a section for my branch 2 tutorial. And then lastly, I made a section for my final page. So it's a little bit of work to get it started. One thing I want to tell you about branching forms is the first time you do it, it can be very challenging to figure it out and get it mapped out and get it to work. Once you've done it once, the second time you do it, you'll find out it's very easy. And then if you do it multiple times, more than just that second time, you'll find out that it gets even easier after that. So that, this is one of those things where you really have to work to get it the first time, but once you succeed, it's something that you'll be able to use fairly easily and surprisingly very quickly from that point on. In the last video on branching forms, I'm actually going to create a branching form, so we're just going to quickly show what it looks like and how to create one.